Hey guys, what's going on? It's DeRo Outdoors. I'm in the DeRo garage. Sorry for the mess, but that's just the way I am. It's kind of been a little, dare I say, booty outside the last couple days. Haven't really got outdoors much. It's just not fun in this kind of weather. So I'd like to take time to show you guys a little gift giving guide since the holidays are on the way of some of the more outdoorsy stuff that I like and I use constantly, some of the gifts that have been given to me, and just some stuff that I really like to use. And break it into three categories: fishing, camping, and cooking. Three things that I like to do. So just get into it, starting with fisher stuff, or the fishing stuff. And we'll go from like cheapest to more expensive. All of this stuff is going to be like under $100, if not like there's like maybe one thing over 100, but I'll show you. Anyways, getting into it, let's start out with the fishing stuff. Coming over here, we've got a nice set of pliers for the fishermen. My favorite pliers are the aluminum, or sometimes they're titanium, but these will run from about $10 to the good ones the fishing pros use. They'll make you pay like $50 for them or whatever, but I like these ones. I got these ones for like $10. They got the line cutter in there. They got the little the hook fixer, and then there's just a solid pair of pliers. These ones are attached to a little belt clip or whatever, and basically do the same thing. The line cutter's there, and they're spring action. So these are called the Crazy Shark pliers. Had these for a while, and I did lose a pair of these in the water one time and immediately went home and bought them online. Other pliers you can get, here's the small lockable ones. These ones have been used, but in a jam, those are really easy. These are the heavy duty ones that are awesome. They're springy, and they can get out a nice, like you got a big lure on or something, treble hook, you can keep it far away from like a toothy predator fish. Other things you can get, sometimes they come with the pliers. Here's a fish grabber. This one, you need something a little bit bigger than this. This is a little cheap $2 one that I got, but find something bigger like this, just clamp onto the fish mouth so you can hold it. Or they got this style, which this is another little cheap one. This is actually my daughter's, but yeah, it just clips on, locks the fish lip, and then you can get the hook out or do whatever you need to for the fish. Nobody's gonna not like a good pair of pliers. Moving on to fishing stuff. Some of the things you'll see me use more often, starting at the bait bucket. This is the Magellan bait bucket. Put your live shrimp in there. It's got a drain in the bottom. It doesn't come with the net. That's just a regular old aquarium net, but it's got this nice little holder thing for other things. I'll put fiddler crabs in there. So another thing that you can get for these, which is awesome, is this this rechargeable aerator. This is the Aqua Miracle I got off of Amazon, but they have like ones that actual fishing aerator, rechargeable ones. This is a fish bag. This was a gift that I got from the wife, and it's awesome. I use it every fishing trip I go to. You basically just grab a 20-pound bag of ice or 16-pound bag of ice. You throw it in there, zip it up, and then when you catch a fish, you open up that bag of ice and throw your fish in there. And then after you're done, if you're on the boat or the beach or whatever, you just that is Addicted by Mustad. So yeah, you just throw it in the back of the truck, and it's awesome. Keeps ice really well. It's got a drain for when you're ready to clean it out. But yeah, I take this on every fishing trip. I love this thing. The very last thing for fishing is the Bass Pro Shop fillet table. So instead of cleaning my fish on the kitchen counter, I'll clean them in the yard. I'll bust out the fillet table. This thing folds up into a flat table, so you can put it in your garage or your shed. Don't mind Skye, the dog, the DeRo Outdoor mascot. But yep, the fillet table's got this nice lip. Everything goes back, drains into the thing. I usually will use the garden hose straight on the table and let everything go down this hole and keep a bucket underneath. But other than that, it's awesome. I use the faucet sometimes, and then after you're all done, spray it off, wash it down, fold it up, and then throw it in the shed. All right, and we're back. We're moving on to the camping stuff. Start out with the cheapest. This is a cheap little camping kit, little solo kit. I thought it was really neat. I actually got it off of Temu, but it's got this little pan thing with like a loofah sponge. I'd expect like none of this stuff to last, but a little wooden spoon I thought was cool. Bunch of bowls, little, I'm honestly not really sure what that is, but I'm sure you can use something for it. And this is a fire starter. Actually, this is the fire starter. This is like a kettle thing for boiling water. Not sure what this is. Oh, this is like forks and spoons and stuff. So look at these like weird fold up forks, spoon. That's a knife. Knife, spoon, and fork. Comes with a little carrying case. This didn't come with it, but it's a fire starter. And yeah. Mess with that later. And it did come with this cool little butane stove that you put on these little like light up things. So you'll twist it on, or I mean you'll open it up, open it up, put it on, light it, and then this thing will burn hot. So it's a cool little camping thing. This thing should be like 15 or 20 bucks, just a little solo kit. Moving on to continuing with cooking. I like to cook when I camp, but this is I'm not really sure what it's called, but it's a Coleman, probably it's for the fire pit. I call it the hobo pizza maker because maybe I'll show you on another video. But to open her up, butter, some butter bread in there, and then throw the bread down with some pizza toppings. You can also do like grilled cheeses in here. I've seen people do s'mores. You can do all sorts of stuff. But then you close it up over the fire, keep it nice and flipped, and then that thing will cook the perfect little meal for you. And it's usually delicious. I love these things. I have 2 of them and use them almost every time I go camping. Honorable mention is the compact hammock with the hammock tree huggers, the ropes that go around the tree, and then you tie the hammock to it so you can lay down. This thing will hold up to like 300 pounds. I've had 2 full-grown adults in it, no problem. Moving on. This is probably the thing I've had the longest camping. Someone bought it for me for our wedding, and just almost every single time I'm camping, I've used this stove, and it just uses got 2 burners. Hook it up, uses one of these small propane bottles. This thing burns hot. It doesn't use a lot of propane, and it is awesome. It's been reliable and it's been heavy duty. It cleans up nice, and just never had a problem with this. I love this thing. This is what I said might have been the over $100 thing. But if you don't need something as big, you can always get the small single burner. It's upside down. Get the small single burner. This is the Coleman that uses the, it's supposed to have a butane fuel cartridge in there, but throw that down, lock the thing in, and then turn it on, and then this should be good for small heating something up real quick. I like to use it when I'm like frying fish or something like that. I need to cook it real fast. All right, we'll move on to the cooking stuff real quick. Every cooking, you're handling hot stuff, you need a good pair of gloves. Here's just a pair of like nice thermal cotton gloves. Those are cheap. These are silicone gloves. These were cheapish, but they'll grab them. I've never had a problem with those. Never had any heat go through them. And moving on, the thermometers. I like to use this thermometer, the old infrared spot thermometer. You point it at a surface. I like to tell if it's around 350 degrees so I can start cooking. Usually use that in my cooking videos. And then for my Meat Pro, I know everyone likes those Meat Pro, Bluetooth thermometer things, but this is a little bit cheaper and it works probably better, honestly. You stick this Here's out here. This will tell you the temperature of the meat from the outside, and then you take it inside. It's got 2 probes. You can set the temperature to what you need, and then when it gets to that temperature, it'll beep the alarm and let you know when your meat's done. It has different modes for each thing, and then you can pick the meat that you want to cook to and the recommended temperature that it needs to be at in order to be safe. And I don't know what the taste button does. I've never used it, but it's cool. And then the last thing for cooking is sometimes you're cooking and it gets to be dark out. So for cooking, you get these awesome lights that are magnetic, and then you turn them on. First setting, pointing at the thing. Second setting, a little less bright, and then you can grab the outside lights up too, and then a little less bright. You get 2 of those. Comes with their own carrying case. These are awesome. I love to use them cooking and even outside just doing random stuff. If you got something metal, you can just pop them anywhere. And then last things, honorable mentions. If you like to go biking, a small bicycle pump. If you know people that go biking, just really easy to use and take somewhere. Very compact. And then another last honorable mention is the beach one day kind of, it's not a backpack, but it's over the shoulder style beach one day cooler. This is a Columbia cooler, but they make all sorts of different brands. It's got the top rack, so you throw your ice in the bottom with your drinks, put the top rack on, put your sandwiches, snacks up there. You can put, it's got another big pocket for dry snacks or any other things that you want to keep cold that you don't want to put in here, and then the side pockets. This thing is awesome. Had this for about 3 or 4 years, and it's never failed, and it still works awesome. It will last the entire day. Probably not overnight, but definitely the entire day. So, thank you for listening to me. I know I was just rambling on about stuff, but that is the stuff that I use all the time when I'm doing these things. And if you're just looking for a cool gift to get somebody, look for these things. I'll post some links, and then you know, buy them wherever if you see them. But these are definitely the things that I love, and I definitely think that other people would love and use them too. So thank you. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on DeRo Outdoors.